Hello, YouTube. It's Birdo 5, and it is Tuesday, March 26th, 2019, and welcome to Bed Life. Hashtag cancel the Simpsons. Yes, I did not think we'd get here. But after watching this past weekend's episode, it is time. The Simpsons have officially gone full SJW, full on woke, and they've lost everything that made them special. I was their longest living fan from their first shorts on the Tracy Ullman show. A young Birdo 5 found it hilarious. I defended it against my grandfather, who said they looked like monsters, and they were fully agreed, probably with George Bush Sr., that they were not the best thing, and that George Bush Sr. famously said we needed more families like the Cleavers and less like the Simpsons. Of course, 30 years later, the Simpsons is now one of the least offensive shows on television, especially animated comedies. And they've broken my heart. Last night's episode, Sunday night's episode especially. And I'm going to get into that in a second. In the meantime, Anti-Tracker claimed first at 2:37 p.m., 2.5 hours before I broadcast. The actual first was Thomas Potts. Congratulations again, Thomas, reclaiming the #1 spot. Followed very quickly by Chief Cook and Anti-Tracker, who identifies as first but actually is third, and like kind of quasi first. Thomas Potts, did I see that Article 13 passed? I did, Thomas, I did. I saw David Cullen's video, and sucks to be Europe, sucks to be in the EU right now, I guess, and I know that's gonna cause problems for people outside the EU, probably. I can only hope he and every other YouTuber has been exaggerating, because what else do we have left now but hope? I will answer to no European court or monarch. You know what? Screw Europe. God bless America. If there's one thing we do good in America, it's tell Europeans where to go with themselves. And that goes for the entire EU Council. I know I speak for the average EU citizen when they say, well, I can't speak most languages in Europe, but for now, Britain is still in the EU, and I'm sure they say, screw that shit. Chief Cook says, cancel STD. Thomas Potts says, why doesn't cheating work for me on YouTube? I don't know, Thomas. I don't know. Chief Cook said Simpsons is canceled again. Thomas Potts says, take that, Turdman. Robert Knowles says, hello, Bird. And yeah, The Simpsons was a great show. My uncle used to hang up on long-distance phone calls with sorry, Homer is on. Bye now, lol. Not so much. Anti-Trigger says, using the green screen looks much better. Actually, kind of. We got halfway to the green screen, And then the fake walls started collapsing on themselves. So we just threw the green over the back of my bed. So I'm actually using both a combination of the chroma key built into XSplit and the background remover tool from XSplit Live Cam. So green screen over here, but background tool if I go up here. So as long as I keep my hands here, I'm good. We're gonna do another test. We're gonna try something else with the green screen next time, but I just it started getting too late, and I figured I better come on. Better than nothing. But thank you, Anti-Trekker. It does look particularly good. I did notice. And yes, in the background is actually playing part of the episode from this past Sunday night titled Bart vs. Itchy and Scratchy. And I will get into why it was such an awful episode. And actually, it had such high potential from the beginning. And that actually, that's you know, if an episode looks like it's going to suck and it sucks, it happens. But when an episode has so much potential early on and then it falls into flaming bags of crap that, you know, somebody's going to try to put out, stepping on their porch into this flaming bag of crap that was Bart versus Itchy and Scratchy, that's the most disappointing. Chief Cook says Star Trek General Order 1. Not Ryan Johnson says hello and Qapla, listening on my way home. Thank you, Not Ryan Johnson. Hello and Qapla to you. John DeMarco says greetings. And Josh Street says the bird hologram looks better. Thank you, Josh. We are working on it, but there's more work to do. And Thomas Potts says, Anti-Trekker, I hate when you stream at night. It feels like forever away. Thomas Potts says, careful, Neurotic got a copyright strike over a still image and now can't do for live streams for 3 months on his normal channel. What? Is that serious? What? How can you get a copyright strike over a still image? I hope he fights that. Yeah, what was the still from? It wasn't from The Simpsons. I know that much. Yeah, he's got to fight that. A still image. There is not a still image I could think of that would be worthy of an actual copyright strike. Plus, YouTube just said they were putting in place. According to YouTube, if you go to YouTube Creator Studio, they're now they say they're going to give you a warning before they give a strike that would prevent you from doing live streams. So you're supposed to get one warning first. So maybe he's gotten a warning before. I have yet to get an official warning. I would hope they would at least abide by their own rules. But, you know, this is commentary. I am commentating on this episode. It is legit fair use. To point things out. Nobody can reasonably say that this is that they don't have to watch the Simpsons episode because of the faded video behind me with no audio and my body completely in the way. So Josh Street says, is Disney going crazy on their new Fox IPs? Well, they did content match JP from Egotastic Fun Time in a Norville review, but a content match isn't a copyright strike, even though many YouTubers use the term interchangeably. What they did was simply block his video worldwide, which doesn't hurt his channel. It just hurts that one video. Nobody can see it. But it doesn't have any lasting repercussions to the channel. When a copyright strike is, I don't even know what would garner a copyright strike unless it was super intentional. Like you actually flat up, just uploaded a freaking movie that was copyrighted, or you just flat out weren't in any slightest way doing something for fair use. Like you just, because even if you upload a freaking, like I've uploaded Frank Sinatra songs, full Sinatra songs, and all I've gotten was a content match, and they monetized the video, which was fine with me because the whole point was I wanted to share the music on YouTube, and I didn't mind that Frank Sinatra, whatever recording company got paid for the, 5 seconds of advertisements that they might have in it. I didn't care, but that was never a copyright strike. Anti-Trigger says he's trying to figure out what triggered it. It was from a live stream in which he talked about a few things. He showed Hellboy, Kathleen Kennedy, and a couple of others. He has another channel he will stream on, says Thomas. Well, I hate to say it, but I believe according to YouTube rules that you're not supposed to go around. That, if like when Laura Reloaded got kicked off YouTube, he technically wasn't supposed to get another channel. He was going to get around it by putting the channel in someone else's name. I think at the time his wife's or something was his plan, and it was going to be her channel that he would just kind of guest star on until, of course, YouTube came to their senses and released it, and realized that it was just a mistake. But I don't know. It's not going to be. That can't possibly hold up. Anti-Trigger says, yeah, he gets 500 plus on his streams. Josh Street says, is Bird going to give Marlena a wrench of power? Oh, of course. Marlena, you certainly get a wrench. Anti-Trigger, he and I discussed the strategy moving forward, and we're also planning on having a recorded debate sometime soon. Very cool. Marlena says it can affect his channel pretty hard. Marlena says, good point, Josh. Thomas Bot says, Neurotic had another channel for his patrons. That's what he is using. Interesting. Wow, that's unfortunate. I do hate to hear that, but let me get into this, why the Simpsons need to be canceled. And I'm going to assume not many people are watching the Simpsons these days, because try as I might, the only person I know who still watches the Simpsons on a regular basis is me. People all say the same thing. Oh, I stopped watching it 10 years ago. I stopped watching it 15 years ago. I stopped watching it 20 years ago. And they all say that's when it stopped being funny. And they all have some legitimate points. My theory was it was still pretty funny, but people weren't watching the show. They were, like my sister. She doesn't watch the show. Yeah, you want to put it on? I put it on, and like 2 seconds later, she's in her cell phone. Like, I'm like, are you watching? Yes, I'm watching. I'm like, and then she'll look up and she's like, how did this happen? Can you rewind? And I'm like, and I rewind it like 10 minutes. And she watches for like 30 seconds. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to pause it. She's like, why is it paused? I'm like, because it's been paused for 35 minutes and you just noticed. People are watching their phones. They're missing half the gags of the show because half of them are visual gags. They're not audio. And if you're not only listening and not watching, you miss half of it. So, of course, you're going to think the show's half as funny as it used to be because you're missing half the stuff. But this year, season 30 is actually the year The Simpsons died. I mean, you can find no shortage of videos on YouTube saying, oh, The Simpsons died. The Simpsons died in the 10th season, the 12th season, the 5th season, the 7th season, the 18th season, whatever season. No, it was season 30. Season 30 is the day The Simpsons died. They were singing Bye Bye Miss American Pie. No. So earlier this year we had the whole big Apu mess. And because of that stupid comedian, who's not really a comedian, had no career until he decided to make a documentary where he bitched about being made fun of because Apu was a character in The Simpsons. Like, the children who were making fun of him at the time would have had nothing else to make fun of him for had Apu not existed in The Simpsons. Frankly, he got off easy because of Apu, and for some reason, even though the first year or so they stood up to that BS and they didn't let it affect them, some reason somebody decided, oh shit, we've got to give in to this SJW bullshit. And they wrote, even though they claim to deny it, Apu has not had a speaking part in The Simpsons in longer than I can remember. I don't know when the last episode he had a speaking part in is. Usually he had a speaking part once every 3 or 4 shows. It's been a whole season, if not longer. So Apu is out. I mean, whether they keep him as a background character in crowded scenes where he has absolutely no lines. Well, he doesn't actually speak, but that's it. There's no going to the Quickie Mart anymore. There's no interactions with anything else. When Homer brings a vigilante group going, Apu's not going to be part of it anymore. They brought back the one-armed guy, which I like, don't get me wrong, but he's no Apu. And the whole Apu thing already had me on edge this season. This was the first season that I stopped watching The Simpsons, like, if not live, then the next day. Like, I used to wake up Monday morning excited to see The Simpsons, and I'd watch it on TV, and okay, I could fast forward the commercials because it was recorded, but I was still excited to see it. This season, with the whole Apu thing, no. This was the first time I was not excited to see it, and I would go weeks without watching the episodes, and I only caught up like 2 weeks ago on like 3 or 4 episodes I was behind. And then this last one, Bart versus Itchy and Scratchy, the title seemed interesting to me. I was like, oh, maybe that's pretty cool. So I still didn't watch it Sunday. I didn't watch it Monday. I actually watched it, well, I guess I watched it last night, Monday night. Okay, so I did watch it Monday. But, oh my God. Basically, this is an episode all about girl power. And of course, how do they do girl power? The only way social justice warriors know how to do it, by attacking and putting men down. And they don't even get it, is the whole problem. Sorry, that was a motorcycle. They don't get why Ghostbusters 2016 sucked. Okay? If they got it, they could have made a very funny episode. But they don't get it. And basically, the episode starts out where Krusty announces that there's going to be a all-female reboot. They're replacing Itchy and Scratchy with an all-female reboot of Itchy and Scratchy. And Bart says this is the worst thing ever. You know, exactly the type of stuff that people were blaming toxic men, trolls on, of saying about things like Ghostbusters and other, even Captain America, things like that. So they're watching the show, and Lisa's like, yes, this is the greatest thing. I'm feeling so empowered. And Bart's like, this is the worst thing ever. And Bart gets his guy friends. Of course, we've got Nelson, we've got Milhouse, we've got Ralph Wiggum, we've got the nerdy kid, I forget his name, and a couple other nerdy kids. And they're all together. All the boys are together, and they're like, we're not going to take this. And Bart's like, we're going to go on a boycott, although he doesn't use the word boycott. He's like, we're going to hate, instead of hate watch, we're going to hate not watch. So when Krusty's show comes on, they're watching. And then when the first episode of the all-female Itchy and Scratchy come on, they shut off the TV, and then they put blindfolds on, and they're sitting downstairs at the main TV. Meanwhile, Lisa is up in her bedroom, and she's watching it in her bedroom TV. And it's the show. Honestly, I thought the Itchy and Scratchy female version was pretty damn stupid, but they made it out that it was actually funny. And Bart hears Lisa laughing, and everybody else has blindfolds on. So Bart goes up to Lisa's room, even though nobody can see that Bart snuck away because they're all blindfolded. And yeah, it's because they're all blindfolded. So Bart goes up and comes behind Lisa, and Lisa's hysterical laughing, and Bart sees what she's laughing at, and he thinks it's funny, even though it's hardly funny for an Itchy and Scratchy episode. Then he starts hysterically laughing, and Lisa turns around, and Bart's like wearing some shirt, like, you know, proud to not be watching Itchy and Scratchy or something stupid. And Lisa's like, oh my God, you're a hypocrite, blah blah blah. And Bart's like, whatever. And it turns out Lisa was recording herself watching the episode because it was going to be such a momentous occasion that there was a female Itchy and Scratchy. And so Lisa has Bart on her cell phone, sneaking away and watching it and laughing at the all-female version. Now that was the crux of the problem. Okay? No one laughed. No one laughed at the 2016. I mean, we laughed at it. We didn't laugh with it. At the 2016 all-female reboot of Ghostbusters, okay? If Ghostbusters 2016 was a funny movie, nobody would be complaining about it. right? That's the problem. So that's where they completely miss the mark. Okay, if you're gonna go on the assumption that the all-female reboot is just as funny, if not funnier, than the original, then you are no longer parodying. You are no longer making a parody of of real life events, because that is not what happened in real life. In real life, they released a sucky garbage movie that no one found funny. And that was the problem with Ghostbusters 2016. Not that it was all female, the problem was that it sucked. But no, The Simpsons wants to go down the route that it was just as funny, even funnier than the male version, and the only reason men didn't want to watch it is because they don't like funny women, I guess. I love funny women, okay? There's nothing sexier to me than a funny woman. Except a sexier funny woman. But I digress. Yeah, men have no problem with funny, sexy women, or funny women, even, okay? We don't judge humor based on the gender of the person telling it. If it's funny, it's funny. There's been plenty of funny women throughout television history and movie history. Okay? I mean, nobody... right? Nobody complained that Goldie Hawn wasn't funny back in the day. Okay? Nobody complained that Kirstie Alley and Look Who's Talking, she was funny. I know, I have a soft spot for Kirstie Alley. But there's been tons of movies with funny women in them over the years. Okay? But this Ghostbusters wasn't one of them. So The Simpsons is already off to a very bad start. So then what happens is Bart's trying to lead his gang, and they go onto they decide to like go all men's rights. So then they make fun of the men's rights movement, and Bart creates a movement called Boys Something BRA. So the acronym becomes BRA. So they're saying we're going to be the best bras, and this, they don't even realize that they're saying about bras. And so Bart's trying to lead the guys in this movement to take back the show. And then Bart falls in. Okay, so then Lisa shows the cell phone footage of Bart watching and laughing at the show to the group of boys, and they all start turning on Bart because he was a hypocrite. And of all the people, Milhouse starts talking, and Milhouse starts sprouting men's rights talking points, so to say. And Lisa's like, and the other guys are agreeing with him. And Lisa's like, do you see what's happening here? You're listening to Milhouse. Now that was legit funny. But unfortunately, it was one of very few funny things. Also, there was a part where Marge is like, talking with Lisa, and Marge is like, I'm sorry, Lisa, I don't even know what to be liberal about anymore, because Marge wasn't being liberal enough for Lisa about something. So that was okay, but so then Milhouse is like, oh my God, they are listening to me. And he's like, I must make sure the next words out of my mouth validate, my supremacy. I'm going to be in charge. So he thinks and thinks and thinks, and the next words of his mouth are, get him! And just like the anti-Trekker super chat, the whole crowd of the other boys now chasing Bart around the school, and Bart gets cornered at the end of a hallway, and the only place he can go into for safety is a girls' bathroom. So he goes into the girls' bathroom, and it turns out to be the bathroom the mean 6th grade girls use. And apparently these girls are militant, like social justice warriors, who are going around pulling pranks to further the female agenda, one of which they want to do is paint Skinner's office pink, and Bart tells them how to do it in a better way. Of course, they knew how to do it, but yeah, Bart gives them an idea, so they tolerate Bart. They don't let him join, but they let him be their errand boy, so he can go on do things with them. Oh yeah, he had to prove he was El Barto before they even let him in. This is not. Oh no, this is nobody. Hello? Hello? No. I'm still hoping for that callback in Spanish. But anyway, so so Bart's their errand boy. They go around pulling all these pranks, and they let Bart come along. And then Lisa finds out Bart. Here's that scene where Bart is cornered and gets in the bathroom, and all the guys are scared away. And those are the girls that take Bart under their wing, so to say. Anyway, so Lisa later finds out that Bart is part of these girls' gang, and Lisa's like, no, this'll ruin, you're not a feminist, how are you a member? And Bart's like, well, he is. And so Lisa gets upset, so then Bart's like, well, why don't you come with me? So he brings Lisa with him to the next meeting. And of course, Lisa does not want to get her hands dirty like all of them are doing. So Bart's like pulling a card on Lisa. It's okay, Lisa, not everybody wants to, be hands-on. There's plenty of room for, feminists who just want to sit back and type or something, and, condescending way. And anyway, the episode ends where, of course, Krusty actually although everything the women do, that's the pink sandals forever. Oh yes, they wanted Skinner to allow sandals to be worn at the school. So Skinner sees sandals forever written on his wall. He's like, I will not negotiate with terrorists, so I will just cave. And he goes on the microphone and says, okay, sandals are available. And that was like the 2 of 4 funny lines, second of 4 actual funny lines in the episode. But so much disappointment otherwise. At every turn, they get everything about why men, men in general, they attribute things that no man actually thinks. Oh yes, history. Here she's destroying a book about history because it's HIS. It's his story. So yeah. The very end of the episode is the most ridiculous part, and it sums this up completely, because clearly, if I didn't yet know that this episode was written by a woman, and most likely a woman who doesn't like men, if you know what I'm talking about, doesn't like men at all, a woman who has absolutely no frickin' idea what men actually believe or think, um, it was confirmed because the last scene, it was a post-credit scene. The Simpsons are getting, weird with their post-credit scenes this season. Yeah, after the entire credits roll, if you're still watching, like true fans are, there's one more scene, and Bart comes back because, oh yes, Krusty capitulated and said, because all the guys were boycotting their sponsors, that they've decided to bring back the male Itchy and Scratchy. So they did away with the female Itchy and Scratchy, of course, because the end of the episode, they have to bring everything back like it was. Just kind of a rule of the Simpsons. Oh, this was a small side story that was kind of funny. Was Milhouse's parents got further in love, we'll say, when they realized that Milhouse has friends. Yes, Milhouse was not only friends, but he was the leader of the group of friends of like 8 guys, 8 boys. So they were so happy, and that apparently really turned Luann on. So Luann and what's the father's name? Well, Luann and Milhouse's dad got their freak on several times, to the thought that Milhouse was not only having friends, but the leader. Okay, so the last scene, though, this is where it all comes apart. Bart, the guys are all okay. They're okay with Bart now because it's the end of the episode. Everything has to go back to normal. So Bart comes in, and so they're sitting, all the guys are together in the Simpsons living room, and they're like, so Bart, you were in with the girls. You know how they think, or tell us, what is it? What about them? What are their secrets? And Bart is like, well, the thing you need to know, like his biggest thing that he learned by being with this group of 3 girls. And he tells them, in all seriousness, he's like, they don't envy us. And all of the boys start like crying and like banging their heads and all upset, can't believing that women do not envy men. Have any man, if you are a man, have you ever once wondered, do women envy men? What the? No! No! I envy women! Men don't ask if women envy men. Who the hell would envy men? Men were the ones going out getting killed by animals back in the prehistoric days. Men were the ones that were spending hours, and the scientific facts are there. Men die earlier, right? Men die earlier because they are usually trying to provide for families and other things. And yes, there are a-hole men who aren't good providers and, deadbeat dads. But as a general rule, no. Men don't worry about, do women envy it. I never in a million years would have asked, do women envy men? What is there to envy? The fact that we would get drafted to war? That if a serious war broke out, we'd be the ones drafted? Now, I know that's changed supposedly in the last year or so, but I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. No, I mean, through the 70s, the 60s, those were men going to Vietnam. It was men fighting in World War II. And yes, women came in to help, and those were great, very great to have women there. And I know the occasional woman, like the 1 in 100 woman who really wants to serve on the front lines. And maybe she can, maybe she can't. I'm not sure of the rules right now. But the other 99 women don't want to be at war. And you know what? 90 of the 100 men that were drafted didn't want to be at war either. But they went. There is nothing for women to envy about men. And why this woman or whoever wrote this, I mean, it couldn't be a man. It could not be a man, because no man would ever think that women envied men. Only a woman who has completely deluded herself from all reason and hates men with some type of passion would think for the slightest second that any normal male worries or would be upset to find out that women don't envy men. F you, you stupid bad word, okay? How dare you? I don't know how you can go through life so frickin' absurd. Women don't envy us. Oh, women don't envy us. Nobody. Not one guy is sad to hear women don't envy us. Not one guy ever probably thought women envied us. Okay? I envied women. I'll be honest. There's a lot of guys who say, oh, I'd love to have a wife who made more money than me and let me stay home and let her go to work and you know, I'll stay home with the kids, or I'll just stay home and play freaking video games and keep the house clean. No. It doesn't work that way. And I would look up who wrote this show, but I don't even want to give you that much of my time. So yeah, The Simpsons, The Simpsons has been going down, and this was just like a twist and a stab and a twist to the heart. I'm done. I hashtag cancel The Simpsons. It's done. It's dead, Jim. There's nothing left. There's nothing left for us. $30 years. 30 years, and they effed it all up. They did pretty damn good job for 29 years. And supposedly they've got like 2 more seasons under contract. Hope Disney pulls out, but I don't think they will. Oh yeah, there Bart says the patriarchy is what did he say? Let me bring it up. Let me mute it so you guys don't. So I really don't get a copyright strike. The patriarchy is a wiener. That's Bart spray paints on a wall. The patriarchy is a wiener. And you know what? I'm gonna let you hear this because it needs to be heard.
Spill it, Simpson. You were on the inside. What's the deal with girls?
Well, check this out. They also burp.
No way. From where?
Is that even a
Okay. Yes, he tells him about girls burping. But let's keep going.
loud?
Let's see, what else? They're always telling each other they're...
Oh, okay. He tells them about how they tell each other they're pretty, but of course then they get mad when somebody else is prettier. Let's skip. Bathroom candy tastes weird. Like there's actually candy in the bathroom. And here he goes. Here is the big secret. He's like, there's one thing that's really important.
thing that really crushed me. I almost don't want to say it out loud. They don't envy us. Oh.
Poor Ralph Wiggum. Milhouse is crying. Nelson is devastated. The other random kids are all looking down in disgust. They are crushed by the news that girls don't envy the boys. You know what? I've got the screen up. Is there a writing credit here? Who gets the blame for this? Who gets the blame for this bullshit story? Patriarchy is a wiener. They should have named it The Patriarchy is a Wiener, because then I would have known not to watch. Executive producer Matt Selman, M-A-N. Jesus. He's a chauvinist. And yes, I'm assuming gender. Executive producer Al Jean. Some more executive producers. Come on. Written by, starring. I guess they're not going to say who it's written by. Guest voices. Also starring producer Alexander Duke. Story staff writer. I don't know if they're the main writer, but apparently they're saying the staff writer is Caesar Mazarigos. Production, associate producers, post-production. Did I miss something before staff writer? And try one more time. Okay, guest voices, starring, also starring, producer, co-producer, animation producer, story editor, Dalamar Sanoki, staff writer. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it was a guy, although I doubt more. There had to be more than one writer. Okay, this episode clearly wasn't written by a single person. So, I don't know. There's a lot of female names listed here towards the end, but with no particular title. Editors, production. What's the last line? Okay. Creative consultant, Matt Growing. Poor Matt. What they've done to your show. Okay. Guess it's time to get to the comments. Oh boy, I've got some to do. Thomas Bot says no. Okay, another channel for his patrons. Thomas says, I haven't seen a Simpsons episode for years except for Halloween ones. Anti-Tracker says, I can't wait until Bird pays me the $900 he owes me so I can set up my Patreon channel. Thomas Pod says, Hey, Bird of Prey, are you sure Bird of Prey is watching? Yes, I'm watching. John DeMarco says, I don't remember the last time I saw a Simpsons episode. Josh Reed says, to be heard, the only reason you're watching The Simpsons is you're too lazy to have Alexa change the channel. And yes, Chief Cook says, Trek Yards is online. I did see it. Thomas Potts says, Bird of Prey is better than Trek Yards. Well, we're different. I don't want to say I'm better, but we cover different things, right? Trek Yards is not going to cover The Simpsons. Oh yes, this is their Josh.0, if you could see it. They did a parody of Tosh.0, which is a pretty good show that I like, although I haven't watched this season. But they completely missed everything that makes Tosh.0 funny. The guy they have there is not at all a parody of Daniel Tosh. It's just some idiot with a I don't know, a frickin' sweater on. So yeah, you would think they could have did at least a better parody of Tosh.0, but no. And stupid Josh.0. Marlena Monroe says Mecca is live too, by the way. Oh. And that's, well, we only got 12 people, but yeah, maybe we would have 18 if Mecca and Trek Yards weren't live. Thomas Potts says, well, Mecca is better looking. I'd agree, Thomas. Anti-Trekker says, Thomas Potts, Mecca may be better looking, but Joe has... Son of a bitch. Anyway. John DeMarco says, Bird secured our loyalty with wrenches of power. Indeed. Thomas says, lol, yeah, that was the reason. See, when Mecca starts wrenching her whole audience, then I'll be scared. Marlena Monroe says they are shadow banning Apu. In fact, that's exactly what they did. They have shadow banned Apu. Thomas Potts says Bird of Prey on Edge sounds scary. Darth Calhoun, welcome Darth. Hey, just got here. How's it going, Bird? Darth, I'm not so happy with The Simpsons today. Schronmore says no one laughed at with the 2016 Ghostbusters. No one laughed at it. It did not deserve it. People laughed near it. Mr. Miles, chief engineer. Bird has his glasses on it, so that means this is serious. I actually have been keeping my glasses on for most of the live streams lately. Shot Street says, hi Darth, after a week of Hearts of Iron 4 streams, I'm having withdrawals. Yeah, that's right. Thomas Potts says, hi Darth. Shromore says, come on people, show Bird love. Give the stream a thumbs up. Yeah, guys, give me a thumbs up. Thank you. Sci-Fi Guy says, thumbs up, everyone. Thank you so much, Sci-Fi Guy. Josh Street says, so people will hit the like button. Bird should take Anti-Trekker, trying to sound like Mrs. Anti-Trekker, saying hit the like button. Kirk is Milhouse's dad. Yes, Kirk Van Houten. How did I forget? Anti-Trekker says at Josh Street, that is sick and wrong. Lol. Speaking of sick and wrong things, I do have a little surprise coming up. It's when I need to take a little break. Darth Calhoun says never. John DeMarco says, I don't think I've ever wondered that. Thomas, yeah, exactly. No man has ever wondered or thought for at any point or is disappointed by the fact that you learn that women don't envy us. Did you envy men, Mom?
You really want this answer?
I do.
Okay. There's only one thing I ever envied men for, and that was their ability to stand up and pee almost anywhere.
That's it. I don't know if you heard her, but Mom said the only thing she ever envied a man about was our ability to stand up and pee. Almost anywhere. We could pee anywhere. We could pee on the side of the road. We could pee in a corner of, the pee corner.
You can't do that.
Well, I can't stand up, but yes, most men can stand up to P. So
Other than that, no.
no, other than envying men because they can stand up and pee. And I don't know if Mom knows, but they actually make devices now that allow women to stand up and pee. They can hold them in their pocketbooks, and women actually use these things.
Right.
Don't ask me how the physics of it work, but you can order them on Amazon.
No, thank you. I don't need them
right.
anymore. I don't go with it.
But yes, so Thomas Potts says Bird of Prey wants to be a woman. No, Thomas, you got the wrong message. Mr. Miles says anti-tracker men are to be envied because we don't have to squat to piss. Lol. Wow, that was, I hadn't seen that message.
And I'm not on the screen.
And Mom isn't reading the comments today. Mr. Miles says, oops, I mean bird, not anti-tracker, old habits. Mr. Miles says, I did that once on a neurotic stream too. Josh Street says, anti-tracker, you're the one that did it on your stream. What? John DeMarco says, I'm a straight white guy, so I'd be shocked if anyone envied me. Mr. Miles says, we'll always have South Park. I think it's a safe bet to say South Park won't ever go SJW. I don't know anymore, Mr. Miles. I don't know anymore. The Simpsons resisted it for decades. Schronmore says, we had the debate over equality in my office. I said, next time you want to complain about equality, climb the ladder to clean the gutters. Feminist colleague said, F you, you win, lol, and laughed. Robert Knowles says, whatever happened to subtle messages of the art of delivering a message in an entertaining way is truly dead. Marlena says, feminists just want women to have the fun jobs. That's not equality at all. The week started so good, no collusion, creepy porn lawyer in trouble, but now Article 13 got approved by the EU. Sigh. Yeah, that's very, very sad to hear, Marlena. Thomas Potts says, don't forget the Empire actor got away with a fake hate crime. I didn't even know that one. Thanks for piling it on, Thomas. And trivia with ones instead of I's says, Qapla, Joe, and chat, hope you are well. I am. Thank you for coming, trivia. I hope trivia is a okay way of pronouncing your name. Marlena says, oh yeah, that one too, Thomas, ugh. And she says hi to trivia. Trivia says hi. Thomas says, hit that like button. Darth Calhoun says, Marlena, get a VPN so Article 13 won't work. And Marlena says, considering that, Darth. Darth Calhoun says, Marlena, or just get rid of the EU, like UK, in a few days. Well, I'll believe that when I see that. Schroemore says, Marlena, Article 13 is a shocker, all right. It gives too much power of censorship to big corporations and EU. I tell you, I am going to be curious to see how this actually gets implemented. Is Facebook just going to close up shop? Is Google going to shut down Google News and all of the EU? I mean, I feel bad for the people in Europe, but I would love to see them do that because I think that's the only way they're going to realize what a mistake they made. Marlena says, yep, brace for more copyright strikes than ever. Well, can't copyright strike people in the U.S. because of the EU law. Thomas Potts says, Chicago mayor and police are pissed. Schroenmore says, Marlena had another 5 copyright strike since Bird's last stream. Oh, are you EU based, Schroenmore? That is awful, awful, awful. Marlena says, dang, Schroenmore. Maybe make a bunch of American YouTube channels and, you know, let Europeans use it on occasion. Hush, hush, mush, mush. Schroenmore says, I'm living in Ireland, the home of Dave Cullen and Darth. Not that Darth, the other Darth. So DJ Odyssey, are you here, DJ? Keep your dog safe. Zoom lives there. Yeah. Yeah, I did watch. I finally got to watch Laura's live stream. I didn't get to watch it till this morning. It was good to see Laura live again. I hope he does more. Not when I'm streaming, but you know, times when I'm not streaming, I hope he does more. That was cool. So, DJ Odyssey doesn't wait. Laura did a live stream. Yes, shockingly, last night as I was live streaming my City Skylines Nerd Island map, Laura went live. DJ isn't here. Oh well. Got turned down for monetization again today. Not too worried. Sorry to hear that, Shromore. Anti-Tracker says Lore live streaming is like Bird doing a live stream, but with less personality and more hair. Mr. Miles Chief Engineer says my ancestors struggled to get out of Ireland. I feel guilty it went there. And lots of hair, way too much hair, like back hair, arm hair. Hey, Anti-Tracker, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a serious amount of body hair on me as well. And yes, the back, the chest, all over. All over except where it needs to be. And gross. Well, I'm sorry, Marlena. I grossed you out. Thomas Fott says, I'm glad I'm not eating. Listen, it's the Italian in me, okay? At least I'm a guy. Okay, I can deal with the hair. Mr. Miles says, I'm more of a Foley type. I can't grow much body hair. Anti-Trigger says, your body hair is nothing compared to Laura. Well, I don't know why you got that close of a look at him, but I guess you were recording those videos of him dancing. Mr. Miles says, if I try to grow a beard, it looks like I got into a fight with a weed eater and lost. Andrew says, lore could be used as a paintbrush. Okay. Let's stop talking about lore. And here's a little video I did in honor of DJ Odyssey. I wish he could be here to see it, but I will surprise him when he does sign on. So for right now, let's just call it our little secret. You're all sworn to secrecy. Yeah. Yeah, I had to make a, the torture ends after about 90 seconds or so. Maybe a little bit longer. Timed in case I needed to, Jaloja. I wanted something else besides California Girls and the Anti-Tracker Super Chat. Playing around with video editors, Bird of Prey. Actually, those were all the scenes I cut out of the Michael Burnham death loop. Those were all the parts I cut out to just show Michael Burnham dying. And I was like, oh, I should use these for a reaction video. And then DJ Odyssey uploaded a video that I saw this morning of him singing Happy Birthday to his friend from the radio station. And I said, okay, this gives me something to work on. And I just figured I'd throw it together. And, oh, Anti-Tracker's not happy. Wait. Anti-Tracker, I am very sorry that you feel I've stolen your idea. Lower it a bit. Yes, but ideas come to multiple people. No, this is not your song, Anti-Tracker. This is Epidemic Sound song. And now that I've sent them a few bucks, they allow me to play their song. Shronmore says, okay, Con, you can have permanent marooning on City Alpha 6 with brain slugs or 5 minutes watching the dancing bunny. Khan is thinking. Thomas Potts says demand money. Yes, send money to Bird of Prey 5. Go to the PayPal link in the description. It's really there this time. I made sure it was. Send the money to paypal.me/birdofprey5. If I get your money, then it means Anti-Tracker doesn't. Okay, and I will use the money to fight the Simpsons and Star Trek Discovery and all the things that you hate, I hate, and all the things you love, I love, and I will not break your legs if you send me your money. CBS shill. Listen, if you got $50,000, you'd be a shill too, okay? I don't know what else to tell you. I make no apologies for my shilling. Not Ryan Johnson says theft. Anti-Tracker says great. Now how am I going to get money when Joe steals all my tricks? Oh, I don't have a Stargate yet. And excuse me, okay, who started playing City Skylines and then the next day is like, oh, Anti-Tracker's playing City Skylines. Did I accuse you of stealing? No. I was happy. I was happy for you. I was happy to spread the word. I was happy to spread it out. That it grew. You should be happy. And Anti-Tracker says, I will not break your legs if you send me money. And a quote from me. And not Ryan Johnson says, your price is very low. Thomas Potts says, watch out. Anti-Tracker might de-wrench you. Sassy is not happy. Sassy wants assurances that there will be no de-wrenching. Come on, Thomas. You already put that quote up on antitracker.com. I just got push notification of it. Josh Street says Bird loves to make people into junkies. Mr. Miles, Chief Engineer, says I have no wrench on Anti-Tracker's channel, so I can be a smart ass, right? And he says on, and Anti-Tracker says nice. So, I should have started this with acoustic snowflake playing, but I didn't. No, I'm not going to tell her that. She doesn't want to transfer money. Well, your notifications are working. Yeah, but they're working on my desktop. That's all I've ever tried to use them on. I've not tried to use it on my phone because I get too many notifications to my phone as is, and I ignore them all. So, I don't know if you guys were... Was it the City Skylines theme or stream, or was I talking to Anti-Trick? I don't know. I was telling somebody about dreams yesterday, and there was one other dream that I didn't mention. A dream I'm kind of proud of, and it's a weird one. It's not crazy weird, not for me, but I think it's because I was talking to my physical therapist about Las Vegas, and she mentioned, I said, oh, and she had been to Vegas, and I said, oh, did you go to Fremont Street? Because I went through 15 different things. I got to Fremont Street, and everybody I know who's been to Fremont Street has always liked it. And she's like, yeah, I was there. I didn't care for it. I was like, what? I was like, did you see the overhead? Because Fremont Street, for those who haven't been there, is a street where the entire length of the street, maybe 2 or 3 blocks long, is covered in an arch, like not a dome, but an arch, a long arch, with millions of LED lights, and it plays like a panoramic video. It's some of them are like star fields and spaceships. Some are more abstract than others, but there's music, there's lights, and it's literally happening right above, maybe, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 feet above you. There's this archway, and the whole ceiling is full of these lights that can play special videos. And so, it's pretty cool. I don't really know anyone who's ever said, yeah, I don't care for Fremont Street. I mean, people say, yeah, it's too far from the main strip. Yes, that's true. It is a ways off the main strip. It's by the Golden Nugget, which is kind of the old side of Las Vegas. But everybody previously I've known that's been there has liked it. And she's like, nah, I didn't care for it. I was like, did you see the show on the roof? She's like, yeah, I did. I didn't care for it. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, that was interesting. And I forgot about it. And then my brain, I think, picks up on things like this. And it's like, how could somebody not like it? And so in the dream, it wasn't Fremont Street specifically, but it was something similar to Fremont Street. And I was sitting on a bench, and I was looking up at this incredible animation, and it had all the different cartoon characters of all the different companies. There was like Disney, there was Warner Brothers, and I don't know who makes the other cartoon characters, but there was like Tweety Bird and Daffy Duck and Donald Duck and Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse and Minnie and Goofy and all different types of cartoon characters, and it was just an incredible freaking animation. And even in this dream, I'm like, man, this freaking puts Fantasia to shame. I was like, wow. And then I started realizing, like, wait, how can they have Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny in the same show? I'm like, that hasn't happened since Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I don't think. Maybe there was something else. But I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm like, where would they get the rights for this? And then they were pulling in like other characters I don't think belong to either. And I'm like, something is wrong. And I'm like, wait, I'm dreaming. And I'm looking up because that's where I was looking in my dream. I'm like, wait, I'm dreaming, aren't I? And I realized, yes, I am dreaming. I was like, then I was like, wow, it's really cool that I could dream of something so beautiful. It was such a graceful freaking animation, and it's so unfortunate that I will never ever have the talent to show you guys what I was seeing, because it was just freaking awesome. It was kind of just like a cornucopia of the best cartoon moments, and they were all interchanged and mixed in together. And yeah, and I realized I was dreaming, and I watched it for a while, and then I woke up. So much better dream than running around a bookstore trying to find a corner to use my vacuum. But yeah. How can you be proud of a dream? Well, I'll get to that in a second. Anti-Trigger says, I was going to do Bird of Prey Chat 2 out of respect. I was going to not do Bird of Prey Chat 2 out of respect, but not anymore. Yeah, somehow I don't think that's 100% truthful. Mr. Miles says, how can you be proud of a dream? Well, Mr. Miles, I was proud my brain could come up with such frickin' beautiful, seamless animation and integration of different cartoons, and just it was like a ballet in the sky of my own creation, like frickin' Mozart of dreaming. I don't know how to explain it. I would never in a million years be able to recreate that in any way, shape, or form. You just had to be there, and you never can be. You never will be. Just have to take my word for it. Thomas Plot says, sure, Anti-Trigger, sure. Schronmore says, I have a few dreams that even Ronald Emmerich would have said. I think that's a bit over the top. Marlena says, Anti-Trigger, great interview with Commander Cockings, by the way, congrats. Yes, Anti-Trigger did started his interview, and of course he's splitting it into parts. But, yeah, no, it's a good thing. Actually, I went to watch part 1 because I'd never heard that Cockings was in a movie, and then I realized, wait, I'd seen this already. I'd seen that movie. I had no idea it had any relations to Trek Yards when I had watched it, and I hadn't yet seen part 2. I didn't know if maybe part 2 wasn't out yet when I first saw part 1 or what, but I did get to see part 2 for the first time today. And then I was a little confused. I'm like, wait, that's not Cockings. It's not Commander Cockings. And yeah, it turns out he's not actually acting in the movie. He's the director, the writer, and the producer. And Anti-Tracker's posted something on antitracker.com. So then it made more sense, but I think he said his brother is in the movie. So there is a guy that kind of looks like Cockings. So that makes some sense. Josh Street says, have got to make dinner. See you later, everyone. Take care, Josh Street. Marlena says, see you, Josh. Later, Josh. Thomas Potts says, Cocking was in that. I just remember Mrs. Anti-Tracker. Yes. Thomas says, bye, Josh. Everybody's saying goodbye to Josh. Marlena is lolling. Mr. Miles says, is Bird talking about a cartoon orgy? No, it wasn't an orgy. Anti-Trigger says to Marlena, thank you. Anti-Trigger says, only 2 parts. Good. Mr. Miles says, it sounded like Bird said anti-trigger. That would be a good name, the anti-trigger. SJWs would rejoice the world over. That might be a good name, although I think anti would still hurt the mysterious YouTube algorithm. It sounded like an orgy, Bird. Well, a bunch of cartoon characters, it sounds like an orgy to you? Thomas Potts says, too late, Bird. I'm first on the anti-trigger video. You got me, Thomas. You got me. So, yeah. What else? Oh, I've got to tell you about these. I think I might have before, but you said it was a bunch of cartoons merging into one another. Sounds like an orgy. Mr. Miles. I think you have the wrong idea of what an orgy is. Schronmore says, instead of saying anti, try uncle's wife. Anyway, I need to tell you about these videos. I have been freaking hysterical laughing. These things are like crack. They're crack in video form. The only thing is that the only people who will get them are Star Trek fans. And if you're not a Star Trek fan, you're not gonna get what makes these things so cool. And I'm gonna give you two URLs. Now, you don't have to watch them now. In fact, you know what? Let me bring them up on our browser here so you can see what I'm talking about. Mr. Miles says, if I try to merge with a bunch of women's orgy, Marlena, just take that URL before you go to bed, watch it in the morning, and you will laugh. You will laugh. So, if Mr. Miles, when you try to merge with women, it's a Class A felony. Ouch. Okay. Where is this opera? So,
previously,
create a whole army of disposable people.
This channel, they've got hundreds of like 5 to 7 minute parody clips they're mostly the next generation, but some of them are freaking completely awesome. They mix in all the other timelines, almost like Cocking's movie. There's a clip where you've got Enterprise, TNG, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and TOS, all in the same 6 or 7 minute episodes. Now, many of them continue on into additional episodes. So I don't want to play too much of
Star
it.
Trek Deep Space Nine.
But
Throw everything you've got.
These are hysterical. The humor is like right up our alley. I don't know how else to say it, but you've got to watch this. Please, I don't know who this guy is.
Will be assimilated.
Editing room 2. That's all it says. And he's only got 330 subscribers. And I am a subscriber, but this isn't my YouTube channel. No,
We will destroy
I'll
you.
subscribe.
Everyone get to the escape pod.
But he edits the videos together in such a way that you get this whole. He makes now.
Taking
Okay.
command of the Federation. Any of you who wish to object will die.
Overthrowing a legitimately elected president and giving Picard direct control over the government? It sounds like a dictatorship to me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who thinks so.
What would you say if I offered to make you absolute ruler of the Federation? No president, no Starfleet chief of staff, just you.
It sounds reasonable. I'd have to discuss it with Starfleet first, of course.
And now the conclusion.
Anyway, he has such a great way of interweaving all of the other shows together, and he also pulls material from non-Star Trek shows, and he puts in obviously
It's
audio
late.
that wasn't legitimately there.
I want to know what you would do to that son of a jackal.
Picard.
What would you do to someone who decided to fuck with you in your
Oh, I guess there's some bad language.
Discipline must be enforced. Order must be restored.
All right. I'm convinced. I'll get you another ship, I promise you that.
Special dispensation from the Chief of Starfleet Operations to change the name from Sao Paulo to Defy.
Okay, let me skip ahead.
Captain, I'm detecting a vessel directly ahead.
Why didn't we detect it before?
It must have been cloaked, sir. It came out of nowhere. Intruder alert. Deck 12.
Go to red alert. Sound general quarters.
Security engineers!
Open a channel.
Picard.
Are you responsible for this, Mr. Sisko?
I've only just begun. The Enterprise become an intolerable threat to the security of the Federation, and I am going to eliminate that threat.
In such a contest, you would be at a disadvantage. In every measurable sense, the Enterprise is far superior.
Major, shut that thing off! Prepare to launch torpedoes!
Charming fellow.
Cisco to all hands. Prepare to engage the Enterprise.
Anyway, there's going to be some fight scenes.
I'm trying.
They're matching our maneuvers, sir. And firing.
Return phaser fire.
Firing, sir.
Sir, easy.
One more hit could finish us.
Make a run for it?
We run all right, right at it.
Ah, pattern suicide.
He's making a suicide run.
Anyway,
Operation
to
complete.
separate the saucer.
Supplemental.
That bastard Sisko has no doubt met his maker. If anyone deserved death, it is he. No one will shed a tear for his miserable life.
It is, It is freaking hysterical. That's all I can say. And there's hundreds of them, and you can start anywhere, and they tend to flow into one another. There's like this underlying thread where it's almost like the mirror universe. Picard is an evil... Oh, I should come back on camera. Picard is like an evil bastard. He collaborates with Nazis. That's the episode where there's like all the time people are in it. You got the Klingons fighting the Nazis from the Voyager episode where the Hirogen take over and make the whole ship into holodecks, and then the Klingons invade the World War II program. So he splices that together with Enterprise Nazi footage, with of course footage from Patterns of Force and TOS, and also City on the Edge of Forever, because it's also a time travel episode in this parody. Yeah, I mean, it is freaking amazing to see how well, and granted, it's not perfect, okay? It is a parody. You have to suspend disbelief. There's going to be places where the audio doesn't perfectly sync up, and of course, you know, somebody will be saying 5 words in normal voice, and then they'll say, this is the USS Excelsior, blah, 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 blah. And you know, it's not perfect. But if you just watch it to watch it, and if you're a truly like a Star Trek fan with, like, you can pick out what show, what episode each of these clips are from, the way he turns everything just complete opposite of what they were meant to be. I literally had to stop watching this thing. I can only watch 1 or 2 episodes a day, and even then, I'm laughing out loud, so loud, Mom like looks over to make sure I'm not dying. And I have to pause it like 3 or 4 times in any 5 or 7 minutes episode, because I'm literally laughing so loud and so hard that I feel like I'm gonna hurt myself. It is that freaking funny. So please, definitely go to one of these URLs, the one I sent before, or this one that I put now. Start at either one and just keep hitting next. At the end of the episode, there'll be a link to the next one, and you will not regret it. If you have anything like my sense of humor, it will keep you busy for freaking hours. I mean, don't waste it all, because you might pass out. It is that funny. You might pass out if you watch it too much. So dole it out, 2, maybe 3 a day. If you have a bad day, maybe 1, during work or something. It will make you happy. I don't know how else to say it. It's like it's like crack. It's video crack. I've never tried crack, but I imagine this is better than crack. It's certainly better than other things. Marlena says, we'll watch it, Bird. Good for you, Marlena. Sharon Moore says, see you, Marlena. Thomas Potts says, an orgy is Bird at a Jeep dealership. Mr. Miles says, I know there's a joke in there, but I'm not seeing it. Mr. Miles says, I know of another channel similar to that. Let me get you a link. Take a look at this guy's edits. I think I might have seen that one already, because yes, I know there's other channels. It might all be the same guy on just different channels. I don't know, but Thomas Potts says racism. They changed the Hispanic ship name. Thomas Potts says that was funny. Anti-Trigger says the edits were a bit sloppy, but it was funny. Not as nice as when Worf said an incoming signal from Bird of Prey 5. No, Anti-Trigger, you definitely had the better quality on that edit. But he has just so much of them, and it's just, they are freaking hilarious. And I don't want to, I know I've already hyped it so much that you guys probably can't be more disappointed, but And yes, evil Picard was amusing, but there's throughout the entire series, of which is over, I don't even know how many, 150, 200, I don't know. Because I maybe got through 20 or 30, and I got to stop every time because I'm just laughing too freaking hard. And I jump all around, and I see one, I'm like, oh, and then it says previously on, and I go, previously on. Anyway, you got to just start somewhere, because it's like they all have a previously on. Sometimes it's an actual summary of what was previously on, and sometimes it's not. It doesn't follow any full, You can just start somewhere and then come back to it. But yes, Picard, there's a running gag where Picard is like the most evil person in the Federation, and he'll like do anything. At one point he demands these clothes. It's funny to even talk about. They edit in the video of the episode where Pulaski and Riker got cloned on that planet, and Picard is like, he's gonna clone Riker, and Riker's like, hell no you're not, and Picard's like orders people to do it, and they've put in video of Thomas and Will Riker from the Transporter episode, and by the end of the episode, that episode, so many Riker clones have died that there's and then they put the Riker who had turned into a Neanderthal from the episode where they de-evolved because they all got Barclay whatever syndrome, and yeah, so that Riker de-evolved into a Neanderthal, and so they were playing that off as one of the clones who had just gone screwy, and by the end of the episode, all the Rikers had died. There was like, so Picard says, make it so number, instead of saying number 1, he's like number 812. Because all the other Rikers had met untimely deaths. Oh, it was freaking hilarious. Thomas Potts is killing a large number of people. No, we do not have your sense of humor. Damn it, Thomas. You do. I know you do. If you didn't have my sense of humor, you wouldn't be here right now. Anti-Trigger says, I never tried crack. I'm certain that's better than crack. Certainly better than other things. Yes. Mr. Miles says, I don't think it's the same person edits the video I sent. Okay. Cool, Mr. Miles. I will definitely... Let me open that in my browser so that I don't forget it. Picard. Oh, I think I've seen these too, but yes, thank you. Oh, this guy's got a lot more subs and a lot more likes than the one I posted. The one I posted seems to be relatively unknown, and that's what I don't understand. I mean, that guy should have 50,000 freaking followers, and each video should have, 5,000 likes. I don't understand, and it's very upsetting. I'm like, if this guy can't make it to a freaking 1,000 subscribers, what the hell chance do I have? I don't know. I mean, because his stuff is primo stuff. Anti-Tracker says, where's my $900? And Thomas says, did you get a notification? I don't know, Thomas. I was so busy watching the thing. I didn't get... Oh, if you posted another quote... Okay, here's the thing. It's not going to send out a second notification about the same thread unless I've actually viewed the thread since the previous notification. So, like, let's say 5 people post to the same thread and you haven't checked it. You're not going to get 5 different notifications. You're only going to get the first notification that there was a new post. And then once you check that and you clear, like, those notifications, then you leave the forum, and then say a 6th person makes a post, then you'll get a notification about that 6th post because it knows you've viewed the other posts. So it's not supposed to notify you every single time there's a new post. It notifies you once per new post until you've read that post and presumably the next post. And then it will notify you again because it doesn't want to send out, 50, if you have a very popular topic on a website and, 100 people reply to it over the course of 2 hours, it doesn't want to send 200 emails to 200 different people. It'll send one email to each of the people. Anti-Trackers, where's my 900? It's not here right now, Anti-Tracker, but I imagine you wouldn't be able to take it anyway. I think that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you so much. I know it's a bit early, but I think I talked about everything I had to bring up. So, yeah, not everyone has to be a marathon. I would totally recommend you go to one of those URLs I posted and start watching some of those videos, because they're good fun. And hopefully I didn't get a content, copyright strike. So we'll see. And Anti-Tracker says, oh, sure, he quits early since he won't give me my 900. Anti-Tracker, I tried to give you. Here, Anti-Tracker. Here, take my pills. You can sell that. You can sell the pills for good money. Just take it. Take it. Take it. Why won't you take it? No? You don't want to take it? Mr. Miles, make him take it. No. You didn't take it, so I don't know what else I can do. This is just as good as money. This is $750 million right in my hands. I can't cash it until Wednesday when I actually win. But yeah, there are my numbers for whoever wants to see. Yep, if those numbers come up and I stop broadcasting, or I just do a freaking video where I'm laughing my ass off and whatever and don't say anything, you'll know why. You'll know why. Thomas Potts says, Anti-Tracker says, winners don't do drugs. Thomas Potts says, see you all guys on Anti-Tracker tonight. See you tomorrow, Bird. Mr. Miles says, reach out, Anti-Tracker. Mr. Miles says, they don't mind selling them though, Anti-Tracker. Thomas Potts says, are they oral? Of course they're oral. Of course they're oral. Thomas Potts says, get those numbers. Anti-Tracker says, Joe does not do oral pills. Of course I do oral pills. John DeMarco says, catch you later. Qapla, everyone. Thank you for coming. And I hope you enjoy those links I posted. And hashtag cancel the Simpsons. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. That's not what I said. You know I didn't say that. Icon. I didn't say that. I'm not going to even repeat it. If you want to visit me, check out my forum at juot.net. That's a fake quote. I'm also on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. And if you're really crazy, you can send me some money on PayPal. Laugh it up. Next super chat or whatever, it's going to be you guys.